Hey everyone, thanks so much for stopping by and checking out my channel. As I'm sure a lot of you guys know already, as of 2018, YouTube has changed their monetizing requirements. As my channel's relatively new, I'd really appreciate your support by letting your friends and family know about my videos. I'm really trying to reach the new numbers for subscribers and views, so I want to give you all a very big thank you right off the bat. And without further ado, I'm going to start this turntable up and give you guys your 360-degree view, and we'll chat more about this sweet model in just a sec. Alright, so this is my 1966 Shelby Cobra 427 SC. And if you don't know already, this is a very special model. Not only in my collection, but just as a historical piece. A piece of real racing history, and a piece of unique construction. The man Carroll Shelby originally raced for Aston Martin in Le Mans. Then he came up with this brilliant idea to combine British coach building with American muscle. He took a lightweight British sports car and mated it with a Ford V8 to create something astonishing. This car is truly amazing, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection. A lot of styling cues on this model remind me of the early Jag E-types. We're going to see that wooden steering wheel, which again comes right out of the E-type. Whenever I see wooden steering wheels, and again, this is just my opinion, but when I see them, I think British motoring. And those seats, those extremely low leather bucket seats, again, it just feels like you just took them out of the E-type and bolted them on to this Cobra. The same with the dash in the interior. Again, same story. It looks exactly, well, I wouldn't say exactly, but it shares the same materials, same layout, that really small glove box that's all wrapped with the black leather. Again, it just looks like it's right from the E-type. So it's quite amazing. And then underneath the bonnet, and yes, I'm going to say bonnet for this example because we got some British styling cues here. Underneath that bonnet is a huge American V8. So pretty cool. You'll see a lot of these cars at various car shows, and you're really going to have to ask the owner because there's so many replicas and kit cars out there of this particular vehicle because it's so beautiful. And you know, originally I guess you could say it was a kit car just because it was sort of this Frankenstein of two historical manufacturers brought together to create one amazing sports car and race car. But like I was saying, you're really going to have to talk to the owner to figure out exactly if it's a kit or if it's an original example, because some of the kit cars, some of the replicas look very, very well done and very similar to the real deal. So some information on this car. In the name SC, that stands for semi-competition. And this particular model here is actually created by a company called Road Signatures. It's stamped made in China in the bottom, and I am really not familiar at all with the Road Signatures manufacturing company. It's the only one in my entire collection, but I'm very proud to have it, and I think they did a fantastic job. Again, you're going to see a really nice paint job with this model. In some lights, it almost looks like a pale baby blue. In dimmer lights, you're going to get a deep violet color, almost to a deep purple. So depending on the lighting of the day and the overhead lighting in the display case, it's going to be very changeable. And that is really exciting. You know, every time I look at this model, the paint looks slightly different, and it really changes the whole look of this car. Again, just like a lot of my other models, you're going to see a really nice metallic fleck all throughout the body, and that's just one of my favorite things. Most of my models have this kind of paint job, and again, I just think it really accentuates that level of detail, and really brings out the curves and styling and bodywork of each individual model. So I really appreciate that. So this Ford engine, it's 427, and it was actually a 425 cubic inch V8 developed for the 427 NASCAR regulated engine. Roughly, it got to 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds. And just to give you a value of these original models, I'm talking about the real car now. Originally, in 1966, this car was $9,500. And now, as an example, chassis CSX 3045 from 1967 sold for $2,117,500, and it was one of 29 authentic semi-competition Cobras built. So that is just an astounding inflation of price from the original, and that's why so many people are building these replica kit cars, just because no one can afford the originals. So I'm going to stop the turntable and give you guys a closer look at some of these really nice details. And we'll start at the front here. So the headlights and those turn signal indicators really remind me again of a British motoring vehicle, and you're going to see that a lot throughout this entire model. I really love the racing stripe that is, you know, all runs along the entire length of the body. And what's really nice is, and I have seen this on some of the real life examples, the stripe actually runs underneath the windscreen and into the interior, which really brings the exterior and interior together. It's a really nice styling feature that looks super cool. The side exhaust, you know, that really reminds me of the American Dodge Viper, although this one is completely exposed, and in this model that is a plastic piece along with the roll cage, fuel filler cap. You can see those bumpers there, so there's a lot of plastic, but it has a really nice chrome finish, and it's been done very well. So it's not a negative at all. You're going to see these rims here. Now these are one-piece rims. Unlike a lot of these auto art models that we've been looking at earlier, it's one piece, so it doesn't have that level of depth. But because of the different colors of paint, I think it stands out well, and especially from a distance, it looks quite sharp. And I'll open up these doors here for you. These doors are a little bit simpler. They don't have a plastic door card attached to the actual cast. So, you know, again, the level of detail is a lot lower, but it is still nice. As I said before, that wooden steel steering wheel just really accents the interior. You got that really unique shift knob, I should say shift lever, and you have the trunk here that actually opens and stays open. It's quite an interesting trunk. It's quite deep, isn't it? And what I like is the actual pole, sort of like the rear brace here of this roll cage. it actually goes right through the body and into the trunk, and you can see it there. So again, that's an interesting styling cue. They didn't have to do that in the model because it's in the trunk, but you know, they wanted to give that extra detail because the trunk opens and it gives you something to look at. So I really love the rear arches here. Really nice thick wheels, and opening up the engine here. I'm gonna have to use 2 hands, so I'm gonna have to come around here. Just give me one moment. Right. Yeah, isn't that a nice way to display it? It really shows off those glorious racing stripes. But it has quite a detailed engine, and I'll actually just tip it here so you can see. And there's some blue accents inside the engine as well. And while I have it tipped, you can actually notice that little fire extinguisher, which again just shows you how much of a racing car this original model really was. So it really is pretty cool, really nice to look at. I love the color, I love the blue stripes. The Cobra is a fantastically beautiful model. And while I have everything open here, I'll just turn on the turntable again, give you guys one more look around. Awesome. So thanks so much, guys, for checking out this video. I really appreciate your support, and I wish you guys a wonderful day. Thanks again. Cheers.